Helldivers 2 is some of the best fun that I've had with friends on PlayStation 5. It's a simple and broad term to start out a review with, but in many ways, Helldivers 2 is a simple game. This satirical bug-squashing shooter has its upgrades and its customization, but it's at its very best when you're holding the trigger and not letting go. This game knows how to make you feel like a badass and a complete buffoon, and experiencing that spectrum with a full squad of friends easily make it one of the best co-op games on PlayStation 5. Hello there everyone, it's Aidan here from Push Square, and I have of course been playing Helldivers 2, so let's jump right into our full PS5 review. The premise is this: you're a Helldiver, a soldier of Super Earth, taking the fight to the scuttering Terminids across the galaxy. Dropping on a variety of planets, you in teams of up to 4 will take out nests, upload data, and complete an assortment of other trivial assignments. However, across your journey you will be attacked by waves of seemingly endless creepy crawlies or horrifying Terminator-like robots. If you've ever played the original, then you'll know that tactics is the name of the game, and that really is no different here with Helldivers 2. And it's really where the fun begins. Switching things up this outing, Arrowhead Studios has opted for a third-person perspective, a bold move from the simpler top-down predecessor. Aiming, shooting, and general traversal are all impressively tuned in, and I never get bored of pulling off last-minute evasive dives. Across my dozen or so hours with the game, it is easily up there with the likes of The Last of Us Part 2 as one of the best feeling and best controlling third-person shooters. It helps that the game is absolutely stunning with some excellent lighting, it runs at a solid 60 frames per second, it has phenomenal sound design, it has best-in-class DualSense haptics, and a score that will inspire you to lay down your life for Super Earth. I mean, the amount of times that we are dropping onto a planet and I am just hyped up with that tune, just dun 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 dun. Anyway, running and shooting in pretty settings is just part of the magic of Helldivers 2. This is a game about balancing that power fantasy. You can take on hundreds of Terminids with ground-shaking orbital strikes, or hold down the front line as you pepper the enemy assault with a machine gun. But a couple of strikes from these bugs and, well, you're mush, buddy. While the firepower you can wield is utterly preposterous, the soldiers themselves are just meat sacks who will be decapitated, ragdolled, and crushed at any and every opportunity. Friendly fire, a mandatory part of the Helldivers experience, means you also have to watch where you shoot and where you toss your grenades. It quickly becomes clear that you can't just mindlessly blast your way out of every situation, and that combat encounters must be considered carefully. It's what makes the mission structure so entertaining. Landing on a planet, you'll have a main objective to complete, but across the contained map there will be nests to clear, side missions to complete, and points of interest to discover and loot. You then must survive a 2-minute wait for extraction, which can get very intense. It's a tantalizing sense of risk and reward as you weigh up whether to leave with what you already have or risk it all for one more side objective. This level of decision making becomes all the more pertinent as you creep up the difficulty levels, and it's here where a lot of other co-op shooters falter. Shooters in particular can be guilty for amping up the difficulty for difficulty's sake, with very few actual rewards to make it all worth it. And while yes, Helldivers 2 does become a far more visceral and nail-biting affair just by bumping up the difficulty, it also bakes progression and cooperative play into that difficulty with stratagems. Stratagems are the special sauce of Helldivers 2, allowing players to call in support weapons, defensive items, orbital strikes, and more. Put together with your arsenal, stratagems can make the difference between life and death, especially if they're well balanced across your team. Arrowhead makes sure that even calling them in pushes you to your limit, as you must input D-pad sequences. And let me tell you, these may look simple, but when you are swarmed by hundreds of bugs, yeah, they get pretty difficult. The amount of times a last-minute stratagem will turn the tide of a Terminid onslaught are plenty, and it is always such a rush. As you level up, you're able to unlock more stratagems, of which there are 47. Now, it is a decidedly slow process, but just playing the game and earning credits and XP will eventually unlock them all. However, if you want to improve your stratagems, then that's where things get interesting. When out on patrol, you must collect samples and succeed successfully extract them. Building up these resources enabled you to unlock ship module upgrades, which reduce stratagem cooldowns or give them a little extra kick. However, to max out upgrades you must earn rarer materials, which only become available in higher difficulties. So while there is the fun of the challenge, Helldivers 2 gives you a legitimate reason to test your resolve in those higher difficulties. It doesn't just toss new meaningless loot at you, but something that can significantly impact your playstyle. When stratagems and gunplay come together, well, there is nothing quite like it. It is genuinely jaw-dropping how consistently epic and cinematic its encounters become, playing out like a Starship Trooper or Terminator experience. The game's reactionary nature means that you're always laying down the tracks as you go, using new tactics or tossing life-saving stratagems down, making constant communication with your team borderline mandatory. Working as a team is utterly essential, whether you're covering, resupplying or redeploying each other. Helldivers 2 is just as much about a plan completely falling apart as much as it is extracting successfully, making it a genuine blast to play with friends. Outside of its team dynamic, Arrowhead has crafted up a community experience too with its liberation system. Every successful extraction counts towards the capture percentage of a planet, and once a planet is liberated, more are unlocked. While it's a little weird to lock off liberated planets, well, goodbye Heath, we barely knew ya. It's cool to see the percentage creep its way up in real time, and it serves as the perfect excuse to return to the game as more planets are unlocked. There's also an in-game store where you can purchase armor, helmets and capes with the currency purchasable, but also earnable and discoverable in the main game. And I have to say, some of these purchasable armors aren't really that expensive. In a world where we're used to games charging £10+ for a new skin, seeing these crop up for £2 or £3 is quite refreshing. Now I understand the concerns over potential pay to win elements, but the live service aspects of this game to me seem affordable and, more importantly, unobtrusive. Lastly though, I do want to mention the connectivity issues. At the time of this video, Helldivers 2 is littered with issues, whether those be matchmaking related, hard crashes, or mission rewards not carrying over. Now, I have largely been unaffected by this, since most of the issues seem to relate to matchmaking with randoms rather than joining friends, so by my experience I haven't had too bad a time with it. But it is still something to consider, and a shame as it acts as the main detractor of the whole experience. However, I do expect that Arrowhead will swiftly iron out these connective kinks. So, Helldivers 2 is a riotous affair, offering up best-in-class gunplay, a truly epic and often cinematic experience, mixed in with one of the best co-op gameplay romps currently available. Its present matchmaking issues hold it back from true glory, but when it works, it really works, forcing you to feel the sense of patriotism for Super Earth as the score swells and bullets fly. Helldivers 2 is a hell of a lot of fun, and is the best laugh you and your mates will have on PS5. Thank you everyone for checking out this review of Helldivers 2. Let me know if you've been having fun with it down in the comments below, and while you're there, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more PlayStation video content just like this. Anyway, until next time, I've been Aaron and this has been Push Square.